Fez Show, kicking off the week on a Monday. Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley with you. Teresa Hines Carey told a Pennsylvania newspaper reporter to shove it after he repeatedly asked her about some comments she had made in a speech.
I told you to shove it.
When was the last time you heard anyone say shove it?
Well, she's not a young spring chicken, Fezzy. I like the attitude, though. I like when I'm saying out of Washington. I'm liking the F-bombs, the shove it, the I ain't a senator anymore a-holes. I'm glad that these are the people that are cracking down on radio.
Yeah, it's not government. It's a friar's roast at this point.
No, we have a clip of her saying this because I didn't have the chance to see it on TV or hear it anywhere.
Yeah, J-Dubs has it.
You know what the question is? Say that I call this an un-American activity. I did not. Of course. Understandable. You said something I didn't say. Now shove it.
Now shove it.
Oh, yeah, it was so quick. Who even knew? Who even knew?
So it was so quick that I had the feeling a lot of people get told that during the day. It came out so easily.
Yeah, but it wasn't as hardcore as I was hoping. I really wanted to hear her yell, no, shove it. I'm looking for a Lee Ilya moment, but that's me.
Is she just going to be... Here's why I think Carrie can win. Because she's such a loose cannon. She would be someone that's perfect to have fun with for the next 4 years.
Yeah.
In the media.
Yeah, she will be fun if she actually gets in there. I know you disagree with me, Fez. I'm seeing Kerry as more of a long shot every day. I just don't see him beating Bush.
Well, now this whole convention thing, it's, he's got to introduce himself to America. It seems a little late to be doing that, but if you're going to do it, now's the time.
It doesn't matter. You just need that last-second run, and I think the Republicans are better than the Democrats at that.
I saw the thing over the weekend with who has what electoral votes locked up.
Yeah.
With Bush ahead of John Kerry. Not a huge insurmountable lead. So Kerry would basically have to do is get the states that Gore won.
Right.
And then either Ohio or Florida to take the thing.
Would that be including Florida as one of the states that he won or no?
That would be excluding Florida.
Yeah, well, basically that's why a lot of people are having trouble getting too involved, because most of the time your vote doesn't count. Now, I also heard Kerry could take Virginia, which would be shocking if that happened.
Yeah, Kerry with leads in Pennsylvania and Ohio.
Yeah.
Gore took Pennsylvania last time, and Bush took Ohio. So it would be very interesting to see, because with the trends that I look at, no Republican has ever won without Ohio.
And that's the one that you're after. Ohio is what you're going to be watching that night, huh?
Ohio, I think, is going to be the big one. It's going to take Florida out of play.
Yeah, but Florida is always going to be exciting. Florida will always have something stupid and embarrassing for the rest of the country.
Well, no matter what happens in Florida this time, someone is going to yell after the last time, my vote didn't count, I did it wrong,
yeah,
someone screwed me out of a vote.
Yeah.
It's still going to come up because people are just ready for it.
I think with, Bubba running as sheriff, that could help out a little bit as well.
President George W. Bush came out a big winner at the World Stupidity Awards, beating out Britney Spears and Jessica Simpson.
Now, do you think he's dumber than them?
I was going to say no, and then I heard about that bike riding accident again.
Why don't we set up a little contest? Why doesn't the president say this award is crazy, and I'm willing to play Jeopardy against both these dumb blondes?
He won't debate John Kerry, but he will take on Britney Spears or Jessica Simpson.
No, has he said he doesn't want to debate Kerry? Is Kerry using that Al Gore, let's debate every single week thing?
You know what? I haven't heard that one come up. Kerry early on during the primary said, I'll debate you every month.
Yeah.
Let's do monthly debates. No. I'm not going to do it.
It's too much headaches.
That requires studying. I'm just not going to be part of that.
I don't have a grasp on all the issues. You know this, and that's why you want to debate.
So I think after 4 years ago, President Bush has resigned himself to, yes, there has to be 3 debates. Someone has finally told him, this is how it works. You have to do this.
And only one of the debates can be about Iraq, right? Some of it has to be about other issues. Baseball trivia, for instance.
Yeah, there's one that's just domestic issues, one that's just Iraq, and then one that they're calling potpourri.
Oh, potpourri.
Grab bag topics.
Which I hope the president doesn't mistakenly call potpourri.
It could happen.
Yeah, I'm against it. Even though when I was younger, I was very much for it. Now I'm against it. All right, Fez, over the weekend, Fahrenheit 9/11. That's the Michael Moore film that is basically about 9/11 and the way the president handled it, went up over $100 million for basically a home movie. It'll be out on DVD before the election. Could this affect people?
Yeah, and I think $100 million in the theater, I would say it goes over that in DVD sales.
You think it's going to be gigantic, huh?
Yeah, I think that's where people are going to sit down and look at it. Maybe people that didn't feel like, I'm not, even people that are, pro-Bush, I think will sneak it into their homes on DVD.
Yeah, the problem with that now, too, for the president is like people's neighbors and brothers can bring it over to their house. Going, I know you said you don't want to see this. You just got to watch this one part. Just watch this one part.
Curiosity is going to get the best of people, and they're going to see it no matter which way they're leaning.
For you, what was the worst thing in the movie 9/11 that you think hurts the president?
I thought it was the stuff where he's just so... A lot of people call you the elite. I call you my base.
Yeah.
That was the stuff that grossed me out the most.
Some of that stuff I had seen before, but I had never really saw the president in the classroom other than that one little piece that they showed on television. And just seeing him that day with the close-up, the confused eyes, really nothing at all of what Michael Moore was saying. And I was thinking to myself in the theater, while you're looking so kind of scared and wondering what's going on, Rudy Giuliani is in a car, heading to the towers, jumping out, trying to tell people what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took it as a real, how does a leader act when something horrible and terrible happens, and how does a guy who's not a leader act? And that might be unfair, and it probably is unfair, but that's the one thing that hit me hard.
But you're right about his eyes. His eyes are completely different in that thing than when he's just giving a normal speech. They just shrink into his head.
He had really glassy, scared eyes, and that he was picking up a children's book. Why the towers are burning, and you're just saying when he's going, I don't want to panic the kids. And my thing is, the whole country is panicked at this moment. You've got to jump in. Now is the time for you to go down the pole, acting like a fireman, and head towards the problem. Not sit there and wait for somebody to come get you.
I saw where copies of that book he was reading, My Little Goat, not that it was actual signed copies from him, but we're going for like $50 on eBay. And I'm thinking, you could go to Amazon and just buy it normally, couldn't you? Why is this a collector's item now?
Maybe that was the actual copy that he was reading. All I care about is My Little Goat. Everything's fine. Bass at the goat.
Have the goats quit screaming, George W.?
And then later he zigzagged around the country, and then the media came out and told us he was a hero.
Now, if George W. wants to see Fahrenheit 9/11, short drive on Wednesday. I think 8 minutes or 8 miles away from the Prairie Chapel Ranch, President Bush's ranch in Texas, Michael Moore is going to be showing Fahrenheit 9/11.
All right, here's my radio psychic, Fez. Radio psychic here.
Radio psychic.
The president doesn't show up for this movie. He wants no part of it.
That would be great if he just decides while he's taking this week off, let's say we go take in a movie. And he walks up to the Waco duplex or whatever it's called, Cinema 2.
I wish he came up in a pair of sunglasses and a funny Woody Allen hat. 2, please.
All right, you're in disguise, but the First Lady isn't, and we recognize her. I told you to wear the sombrero. That would be great. Now, Nicole Kidman turned down Michael Jackson's invitation to be his date at the upcoming MTV Video Music Awards.
Well, that's a shocker, Fez. I mean, she's single, he's single, he's got 4 children on the way. He's just a single dad looking for a nice woman.
They're doing his, mine, and ours.
Yeah.
Well, he realized she's an adoptive parent, too.
Yeah. Well, the problem is she has children and doesn't want to get anywhere near Mike. I think it would be a lot more difficult for people who have children to be able to put up with Mike at all anymore.
Speaking of disguises, I just like her bluntness in this. She goes, I can't quit laughing at those pictures of him in a wig at Disneyland.
Yeah, ain't happening for me. Maybe if this was 85, I'd be so excited. Of course I'd be there. No, Mike.
So she's an Academy Award winner. She was married to one of the biggest movie stars in the world, and yet those people didn't feel the need to put on beekeeper costumes and Mardi Gras masks and head out when they took their kids out and about.
Fez, nobody's a bigger star than Michael Jackson. He's the Elvis of our age. And there was other people that could wander around on the planet, but Elvis couldn't. Michael Jackson is not going to be able to go anywhere without people showing up.
He's got to be just furious over this, that Nicole Kidman has rebuffed his affections.
I'm sure he's already forgot. Just like Rain Man, suddenly the new Jeopardy came on and he has to be there for it.
He's very confused. He invited Billy Kidman. It was his problem. Dennis Eckersley and Paul Molitor went into the Baseball Hall of Fame over the weekend.
I love the way people go into Baseball Hall of Fame, Fez, because they all go in tears. They just can't believe their good fortune.
Yeah, it's really kind of different from the Football Hall of Fame, where that seems kind of like a fraternity or a locker room and a lot of backslapping.
Yeah, because that one's not really taken as serious. And you can say it about basketball. There is nothing that we have that's like Cooperstown. And I've been to both Halls of Fame. And when you get to the Canton one, you feel like you pulled over next to the road. Okay, this is, it's like the Hard Rock of football. But when you're in Cooperstown, you feel like you've walked into a cathedral. You can't believe people actually will be whispering as they're walking around. That's the big one.
Eckersley's comments about going in the closure and, like, it's closure for the death of my career. And it was just so serious, some of the things he was saying.
He was a serious pitcher, though. I don't know if you remember him, but he used to come out and shut everybody's ass down. He was amazing, an amazing closer. Matter of fact, this is the first time, I think, since, like, the 30s, two guys went in on the first ballot. It's not easy to get into this Hall of Fame. Where, you look at what's happening in the Canton, and, you'll see everybody in there sooner or later, I'm sure.
Yeah, Dennis was saying how just the past 5 years.
Well, I think a big difference is in baseball, you also have to play for a long time to be able to get into the Baseball Hall of Fame. You're putting in a huge amount of time. Where you're seeing guys in the Football Hall of Fame that played for like 7 or 9 years or whatever. They've already been out of the game for a while, and then it's just, I don't know what the reason. You could go on and on about the reasons. Maybe because the Football Hall of Fame was their first. I mean, it was their second to the Baseball Hall of Fame. But Cooperstown just means more.
Ricky Williams is going in this August, next month, when they do the Hall of Fame game.
He just doesn't want to play anymore. And, at least Barry Sanders played 11 years. They're saying he's pulling a Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders played for a long time, and you had a real good chance over your lifetime to see him. I don't think Ricky Williams was at the top of his game yet. I mean, if we said, could this be the year Ricky Williams really breaks out and threatens some records, or over the next 3 years, we probably would have put some long shot money on that.
Yeah, Barry Sanders walked away from Walter Payton's record.
Yeah,
when he could have had this.
And he could have had it. And he walked away like most people do from Detroit. So that was very understandable.
The closure, the death of my career.
All right, by the way, I got an email about J-Dub's stupid tattoo that he got. The tattoo, of course. And you're a huge Lions fan. You're wearing your Lions shirt tonight, Jay.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Charles Rogers jersey.
Yeah, I got an email, Fez, sent to us that's saying that his tattoo is so stupid because you've got Champs 2005, right?
Yes.
And the thing is, the 2005 Super Bowl is played in 2006.
Oh, you go by the season, not the year the Super Bowl's in.
Yeah. So basically, you're looking at, if you really wanted to do it this year, it should have been 2004.
Well, I'm looking for a repeat then. Because
there's no room for a repeat on there now.
Can you just put back-to-back Super Bowl champs?
I'm hoping so, but I think it's kind of smart on my part, because if I really wanted to be indebted to this, I would have put Super Bowl 39.
Right.
Now I have like a 2-year leadway here.
You feel like you're smart with a Super Bowl tattoo.
I think I stumbled into a smart thing.
Thank you, because you did not do it on purpose.
How did you do at the World Stupidity Awards?
I came in right behind Jessica.
Now, I heard they were even talking about your tattoo on the Sporting News.
Yeah, they're talking about
Did you know this, Fez?
No.
Yes, on national sports shows, his tattoo's coming up. So He's becoming legendary. Now, did you ever try to contact the Lions and let them know that you had this?
Yeah, I contacted them. They chuckled and had me email it to them. So you never know. It might be coming up on DetroitLions.com.
Here's the thing. The GM, nobody in the whole organization would be dumb enough to get this tattoo, and yet you have it. All right, this is Dubs being talked about on Sporting News.
I want to ask you a question. How dumb do you think it is to get a Lions Super Bowl champions 2005 tattoo?
I got an email about that. I got an email. That's pretty crazy, I admit. I'm a Lions fan. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you know what? If he's right, he's going to look like a genius.
Right.
Right?
There's about the same chance as the Detroit Tigers winning the World Series.
Hey, who thought the Pistons were going to beat the Lakers?
Yeah, right.
Me.
Well, right. Did they?
Well,
nobody. Everybody talked about how many games they're going to get. How many games it was going to take.
How long is this
By the way, I saw the pictures. Grant, who was out there in D.C., a guy named Grant, emailed me the pictures of J-Dub's new tattoo. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, very.
I know. It's kind of a good-looking tattoo, though.
Yeah, it is. All right, Will.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the phone call.
All right, what did you want to hear? Good-looking tattoo before you dumped out?
Yeah.
He's so proud.
I thought we were going to get to hear the whole segment.
Now, who is Grant? Is that your other
No,
name?
I actually, it's on our website. That's probably where they got it from, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I have a feeling Grant is either your buddy, calling radio shows and TV shows. What about this guy, J-Dubs, and his tattoo?
Have you heard about the guy in D.C.?
Hey, if he's right, he's going to look like a genius. A genius!
I think Detroit could go the rest of the franchise history winning every Super Bowl. You still wouldn't look like a genius doing that.
Have any of the sports magazines done predictions for the year like they normally do, or are we waiting for another month or so for that?
Some of the smaller ones have.
Yeah. No Sports Illustrated yet, though, right?
Yeah, none of the big ones.
So where are the lines being picked so far?
I've heard the chances are 1 in 150.
1 in 150.
Yeah.
I like those odds, Dubs. I like those odds.
What's like the biggest future you can get? Like 1 in 250?
Yeah. 150 is normally, I'd say, bottom half of the pack.
That's usually when a new franchise, an expansion franchise, is coming into the league. They get that before they've even touched the field.
You know what? If you wanted to do something crazy, you should have just put $100 down on them to win the Super Bowl. And that way there'd be a payoff. There's no payoff for the stupid ink under your skin.
It's bragging. I like to brag.
He thinks he's got this fantasy wrapped up in his head where he thinks if they win the Super Bowl, they're going to come find the dumb Michigan kid who inspired them and carry him on their shoulders in a parade through downtown Detroit.
I'm hoping for a 1-minute feature on Fox Sports before the game.
That may happen. If you go there, you will get your Fox Sports minute. Well, I guess we should switch it and say CBS since technically we work for them. All right, Fez, here's a little spy report. Spy report. Ken Jennings is still on vacation after 1 day, so we want to keep everybody up to date with that.
Way to go. He can do it.
Yeah, thank you, Lucard.
He can make it up. Now, on Saturday, October 2nd at noon, Nickelodeon Television will go off the air for 3 hours and will only show a graphic telling kids it's time to go outside and play.
If they only had viewers, this would be great.
I don't see... Any kid is just going to complain that the TV is broken.
My hope is this. I hope the following day we hear a story about how a kid saw it, went outside to play, and either got snatched or hit by a truck. And then we can all blame Nickelodeon.
It'll happen.
Are they still running that stupid slime joke?
Yeah, I think they still do Super Sloppy, Family Double Dare or something.
Yeah.
Because I know in the Kids' Choice Awards, some celebrity gets slimed every year.
I'd also like to see CBS doing this during the convention tonight, where just for an hour they put up, it's time to go out and play. See if it catches on.
I thought you meant the slime thing.
All right, Fez, I was going to talk about this when we get back from break. I was talking to my dad about this the other day, and you know how they used to say Walter Cronkite, most trusted guy in news?
Mm-hmm.
Do we even have one trusted guy in news anymore? Is there one single person, whether it's in the newspaper, on the radio, on television, that you can really say gets to the heart of the matter? Not as playing for one team or the other team, not the stupid kind of crossfire guys who act like their side never makes a mistake, but is there one guy out there? 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. Who do you trust to get your news from now? And no, I see it popping up on the IMs. We're not including Buzz Burbank.
That's who I trust.
That's cheating. I want to know somebody else out there who you can say, I've listened to the issues with this person, and I feel like I trust them. Because whoever it is, I want to see the guy or girl. 866-277-4969. We'll take a break. We're back in just a few moments. You're listening to The Ron and Fez Show.